And welcome into the Friday edition. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar here with you on this Friday morning, presented by Green Ventures Landscaping. For homes and businesses that want to stand out, not blend in, visit greenventureslandscaping.com. We are live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Hope everybody's off to a fabulous start here on this Friday morning. Joe Rexrode, good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. It was good to, be out on the golf course briefly yesterday to see you guys off, and I guess
wish us good luck.
Yeah, wish you good luck. You didn't win though.
No, not even close.
Who won?
I have no idea. I don't even know what the winning score was. I just know I was asking our GM Sean Ford coming off like our last hole. I was like, "What's the lowest score you've heard of out here so far?" He's like, "Yeah, a few holes ago, somebody was like 16 under." I was like, "Oh, okay. So somebody's going to win this by like 20 under." We were 5. So,
yeah.
Now, in these scrambles, it's a fundraiser out there. So you can purchase things to lower your score a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a typical, that's standard
For a
operating
fundraiser,
procedure.
yeah. I mean, you get mulligans,
You can pay to cheat. I like it.
Fundraiser.
Yeah. That's, I mean, hey, I get it. Okay. So you guys didn't buy yourself any strokes?
Oh, we had some mulligans out there. Bought some of those.
Okay.
Didn't really help us much. Wasn't great on the golf course yesterday. But you know what? A bad day on the golf course beats a good day pretty much anywhere else.
There you go.
I enjoyed it.
Is that like, did Arnold Parmel say that in like
I think it's
a
Robby Stanley quote.
That's a Robby Stanley.
I'm sure somebody said that before, but
I think I don't know if I've heard that or not, but I mean, it sounds like a saying.
It is now.
If you just invented a saying, that's really impressive.
Well, that's why people listen to this program.
That's right.
We're very impressive people.
We are
here on the show.
We set trends.
You all should see. We should live stream the pre-show meeting for you one day, just to see what all goes into.
The stuff that we throw at the wall that doesn't make the show.
Yeah, you'd be stunned.
Yeah, I mean, like at some point the lost like segments of Robby and Rexrode will be like, whoa. I mean, we'd have to put it on like cable TV, but pretty good stuff.
It's pretty good stuff. Yeah. Ian, how we doing? What's going on?
Good morning. Happy Friday. Doing just fine. Thanks. Yeah. What is it like? Golf is a good day in the park, or good walk in the park gone bad, or something like that.
We can go. Anything you want to come up with, we can do it this morning.
That's more like my saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's more like
it's hell
nice,
on earth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice walk in the park gone wrong. But yeah, I'm glad everything went well. The weather held off for you guys.
It's pretty hot.
It was warm, but hey, at least you didn't get rained on. But yeah, fun game last night. Well, I guess it wasn't that fun, but Spurs,
a lot of blowouts.
Spurs kind of picked it up right from the start. Never looked back. I think OKC trailed the entire game. But yeah, doing good. Should be a fun weekend. So happy Friday, everyone.
Yeah, it was a bit of a disappointing game 6 last night if you were looking for a competitive game, but it does mean we get a game 7 in the conference finals. And the conference finals, both on the NBA side of things and the NHL side of things, with the exception of the Thunder and the Spurs, have been pretty terrible to this point. So I guess I will take a game 7 on that front. I don't know really what to expect in game 7. I mean, it's back in OKC, so I would tend to favor OKC in that matchup, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think I expect a 12-point OKC win, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong about them winning. I also hope I'm wrong about not a close game. It'd be great to have a close. I think there's been one close game,
but it's all going according to plan for
series.
Ian. I know that. I mean, he wanted this thing to go 7 games. Let those two wear each other out a little bit. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks kicking back, getting some rest, getting ready to go for the NBA Finals.
Yeah. Really need them to not win 2 games.
I really need them greatly. I need Oklahoma City to win this game 7 and for New York Knicks to win at least 2 games.
I need that rust to
it would be amazing.
Really show itself right away whenever that thing starts.
Wow, there's a bald cap for Rexrode in here. He's Kuharski for 3 consecutive hours.
Boy,
how are you going to pull that one off?
I don't know. It will be very bad. We might get canceled. So, just understand that. You're also rooting for the
I think it's worth it.
Spurs/Thunder. Spurs Thunder.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. we have a lot of stuff going on today, but I will say the SGA stuff. It's like, did you see him get trucked? Did you see this play? People are like accusing him of flopping. Dude, he got blasted,
bulldozed. Yeah.
Like so now the Spurs are like, you know what? How about we just absolutely just treat him like a blocking dummy, and then everybody will still say he's flopping. Like I think it's gone the other way.
Yeah, he's good. He can get hit as hard as anybody will be hit at an NBA game for the rest of his career. People will be like, well, he's flopping out there.
Sure, SGA, sure. Yeah. No, it's pretty bad. I will say, what's his name? Coward had a pretty good one. Did you see what he?
I did not see Colin Coward.
He's like, it's when in Toy Story, whenever people hear, like Andy or something, the toys like drop to the floor.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That may be his best take.
That might be.
It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Toy Story 5 coming out here in a few weeks.
Oh, wow. Speaking of good takes, I can't wait to dig in on this Stilly Whitlock conversation. It's really exciting.
I didn't see any of it.
Yeah, he's tweeted it out, so I will, against my better judgment, watch some of it. So it's like him and some offensive lineman arguing something, and Whitlock is like,
is he the mediator?
Officiating. Yeah,
that's good. That's good stuff.
Oh my goodness.
The Titans announced yesterday that Coach Mack, Dave McGinnis, will be inducted into the Ring of Honor this fall. He will become the 20th member of the Titans Ring of Honor. So cool stuff there. Well-deserved, obviously. And, Dave McGinnis, as we talked about after his passing, huge impact on the organization, huge impact on football fans here in Nashville, Tennessee, and around the state. And really cool to see him going into the Ring of Honor later this fall.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well deserved. I mean, a guy who obviously had a lot to do on the field as an assistant coach, but also, I mean, I think made such a connection with people doing radio, doing Titans radio, and terrible loss, and it's great to see. And on that subject, we haven't hit this, but also great to see Mark Howard.
Yep.
Posthumously honored by the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame. Really cool to see that. I mean, Mark, obviously a legend around here. It was so fun to work with him some, here, not that long ago. And so that's great to see. And I guess I can keep this going, Robbie.
Keep going.
Terrible. It's not necessarily like a theme you want in a segment, but terrible news on Claude Lemieux.
Yep.
Terrible. I've Claude Lemieux as a sports fan was not one of my favorites, as I've expressed.
No.
Okay. But the guy was a warrior and a great player and incredibly long career in the NHL. I mean, he just was out there with
in Montreal, like in Game 3.
Yeah. And so that is tragic news. I have tweeted out, if you go to my X account, I've tweeted this out. Now, we had Darren McCarty on the show when this came out, but John Buccigross's tweet, I retweeted it, and it's the digital E60 Unrivaled, which was the Avalanche Red Wings rivalry thing. One of my favorite things that they've ever done in 30 for 30 or anything. Obviously, there's a lot of personal fandom tied into that, but pretty amazing. Like McCarty and Lemieux kind of getting together and doing this event with fans. And you're talking, I mean, it was nasty.
Yeah.
It was, for people who don't know, it was bloody. And so that's a worthwhile thing to check out to kind of get an idea of him. And I just think it was really cool that those guys could come together later and have some laughs about it.
Yep. McCarty put out a video yesterday too that I saw, just kind of reacting to the news. So friend of the show, Darren McCarty. Let's get him back on at some point. That was a very entertaining guest that we had. He was like, wow, this guy's got some energy.
Yeah, we probably should have tried to make that a regular occurrence, talk Red Wings hockey around here,
Let's talk 90s, early 2000s Red Wings hockey, please. Let's get after it.
Tell you what, man, the grind line. Everybody talks about the Russian 5, but for my money, give me a good shift from the grind line. Oh, Chris Draper, Darren McCarty, Kirk Maltby. My goodness.
Some names that early Predators fans very familiar with there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Who used to play them a lot. Did not like any of those guys. We're off and running on the program here today. Turron Davenport will be with us at 8 o'clock for his weekly visit. We got the Rex Rant with Joe Rexrode coming up later in the program as well. We got a lot going on the program today, including, I can already give it to you, my first NFL lock of the season a little bit later this hour. You're not going to want to miss that. I just printing money coming up later this hour at 6:45. So be ready for that. Coming up next, the NBA has thrown out some new rules with their draft lottery with the goal of basically eliminating tanking. What do we make of it? We'll get into that coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game, taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025, our phone number. Rexrode already making people happy all around the country this morning. That's what he does. That's what he does.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me just read the headline to you. Let's see here. My column today, The Athletic. It's SEC. Oh, no. Oops. Sorry. That was not. Boy, this is good radio too.
I think it's great radio.
What the heck, man? Now I can't find it.
It's on brand.
Oh, yeah. It's the headline says the SEC could have dunked on the Big Ten, but instead just went even dumber. That's the headline. But let's see the first comment I come across. Chris P. Reader says, "Man, what a hack article by a low IQ fart face." But he didn't say fart face. SEC top to bottom is tougher. Facts are facts. Thank you.
Good morning,
Another day at the
Rexrode.
office.
There we go. Just another day out there. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Love you too, Chris P.
Yep. Thank you, Chris P. The NBA has expanded their draft lottery. So as we've discussed a couple of times, Joe, the tanking in the NBA this year, a little bit out of control. I mean, you tell me, like 10 teams that were just completely awful in the NBA and had no desire to improve whatsoever. So the Board of Governors have changed the league's draft lottery format that will begin in the 2027 NBA draft. So basically the format is expanding the draft lottery from 14 teams to 16 teams, which will include the 8 seed in each of the team's conference playoff picture. Anti-tanking measures where the bottom 3 teams are dealt lesser chances for the number 1 pick, while they flatten the odds for teams that do not qualify for the playoffs or in the play-in tournament. So they're calling it the 3-2-1 lottery, as I guess the name for it. And that signifying the number of ping pong balls that each of the final 3 teams will receive in the lottery. So this was voted on. It was a 29-1 vote for the NBA Board of Governors. The Memphis Grizzlies, the only team that voted against this measure.
Yeah,
so the Grizzlies standing against the rest of the leagues here. But basically, this is meant to strongly discourage teams from tanking in the NBA because they're trying to limit the effectiveness of what that will actually give you in terms of a reward. Joe, what do we think of this? What do you make of the new draft lottery and anti-tanking measures that the NBA has put into place?
Yeah, I think it's all worth trying. You know, the league can reduce lottery odds. They can impose discipline if now the interesting thing there is, like, are we talking about, because, I mean, you can sit there and say, well, you guys are tanking. It's like, well, no, I mean,
we just suck.
Yeah, we got all these guys hurt and whatever. I want to play young guys. I mean, I still don't have the clarity on how you identify it and confirm it. And is there an appeals process and all that? But they can reduce their lottery odds. They can modify teams' draft positions. They can fine teams. All of this are part of this movement, and it's worth doing. I do think that this particular year was special just because this is a really good draft. This is a great draft. I mean, it's loaded, and there are guys who are going to go in the middle of this draft that in some years we'd be talking about them is at least as top 5 picks and maybe as number 1 pick. I mean, it was an incredible. A lot of them are freshmen from college from last year, and then a lot of other college guys who weren't one and done, but have turned into like great players. Like Yaxel Lendeborg from Michigan last year. I mean, there's just a lot. It's a loaded draft. So I think teams looked at this and again, even the top of the draft, it's like Darren Peterson, AJ DeBonsa, some think maybe Boozer, but like teams are looking at possible real difference makers. And so everybody's trying to get to the top there. And so I think in a lot of years it won't be this bad, but this season kind of laid bare for everybody how bad it can be when so many teams are doing it and so many awful games for what seemed like 2.5 months.
Yeah, I think my biggest question about all this is exactly what you hit on. Like, what does the enforcement look like? Because, I mean, it was clear this year that there were teams that were tanking. there are going to be teams moving forward that just flat out suck. So how do you how do you determine the difference, right? Like, I guess if you're determined that they're sitting, healthy players, like I remember they tried to crack down on guys resting, right? And so that one of the ways they did that was like you have to play a certain amount of games if you want to be eligible for NBA awards postseason, right? So it was like, all right, well, we're going to cut down as best we can on some of this. Well, LeBron has played, 3 games in the last 6 days, so he's not going to play in this 4th here in Memphis, right? And it's like, okay, great. Well, that sucks for the fans in Memphis because probably a significant portion of them are there to see LeBron James play, right? So I'm just throwing him out as an example, but there's going on a lot throughout the league. Now, they've cut back on that, but still throughout the NBA season, you will find a lot of examples of star players that are like, all right, we're still up against that game threshold mark, but I am sitting this one out. So it's helped. It has not completely solved the problem. I'm very interested to see what the enforcement looks like when this actually gets put into practice next year.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting. Yeah, and that goes to a lot of things people talk about with the NBA. Steve Kerr and others have talked about having fewer games in a season. It's just hard, for me. It's like it's like with playoff or tournament size. Like, when does it ever go the other way? Like, when does it ever? Mark Cuban's talking about 40-minute games instead of 48-minute games, and it's like, there are some things about this.
Guys, can we just leave something normal?
Right. Like there are some things about this that are sacred to me. It's like, it's a 48-minute game. It's why you get 6 fouls as opposed to 5 in college, and like points per game and all these things, scoring records, all that stuff. I mean, I think there's something to be said for like the consistency of hockey, basketball, and baseball have all had the same number of games for a long, long time. I mean,
and hockey's about to have more. Like, hockey's going to an 84-game season next year.
Yeah, which is
like
just
so you got hockey, you got the NBA coaches. Well, see if we can get this thing down to 60. That'd be great. 65, somewhere in that neighborhood. And hockey's like, we'll go to 84. Yeah, just add a couple more.
What is the reasoning for 84?
I'm sure it's money. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just I don't like that either. I mean, baseball went from 154 to 162 in like what, 1950?
I mean, I'm cool with the trade-off in the NHL. I mean, it's 2 more games in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't matter, and it makes me have to watch less preseason hockey, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah. There's something to be said for,
looks like it was early 60s for baseball.
Was it early 60s?
Yeah. It's a long time.
I thought that was the whole thing with the Roger Maris chase, was that he got to do it in 162 games. That would have been 1961, right?
I mean, you were the one watching that. I don't know.
It says here, I don't know.
Per my morning newspaper back then.
This AI
radio
said
program.
One of the reasons they moved to 162 was the math to accommodate 10 teams playing each other 18 times.
Okay.
So maybe there was some actual like rationale between that evenly. Okay. Now I think it's just strictly money, right?
And like football went from 14 to 16 in sometime like the mid 70s. And again, we never should have moved off that. But the thing with the NBA is like, and again, this is blame. We love our math nerds in sports, and I think they've added a lot of value, but those are the people who are again telling all these teams, look at the data on playoff success, and if you play the full 82 games, it's just less likely, and if you don't, it's more likely. I mean, that's what it is. And so teams have gone like, well, I'm not gonna screw ourselves by playing our best players every single game, and it's a real problem.
It's a problem. I would love to know why the Grizzlies were the one team that opposed this rule proposal change.
I think it had something to do with, they were talking about it on Sportsmanlike, the show before us. It was, they are getting screwed in some way or another by this whole situation, whether they had some picks or something happened this past year or two where they're really getting, the bad end
Maybe
of
some
this.
Protected picks moving forward?
Something like that.
Okay.
I'll have to double check, but it was,
the Grizzlies are like, nope.
They were, I guess, really affected by the new rules somehow.
Well, they also have Adam Silver openly saying, I wish you guys played in Nashville. Can we get some games in Nashville? What do you think?
He did
They got
say
an
that.
arena.
At least like he didn't take it as far as LeBron. It was like, yeah, move the team.
Yeah.
move the team to Nashville. But Adam Silver was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him play a few games a year in Nashville. I'm sure Memphis is like, oh, great. Thanks.
3, 5, 10,
Thanks, Commish.
20. What do you think? Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, man, Memphis, yeah, they've been taking a lot of crap.
Yeah.
You know, they really have.
Yeah. The lone holdout in this proposal. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. What do you make of the NBA doing their best to crack down on tanking? We'll take your thoughts on that. How much of a priority should that be for the other leagues to disincentivize tanking? We will get into that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Today, the Nashville Sounds taking on the Gwinnett Stripers at First Horizon Park. First pitch at 6:35. Catch all the action on 94.9 The Fan. Presented by Twin Peaks, Family Leisure, Maple Street Biscuit Company, and Social Cantina. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025, our phone number. The NBA has changed their draft lottery and implemented some anti-tanking rules. Do you think other leagues should pay attention to this, Joe, and try to disincentivize tanking? Do we feel like tanking is a big problem in any of the other leagues? I mean, I can go ahead and tell you, it's not a problem in baseball. Their drafts are so complicated and just really has no bearing on your immediate future all that much. I don't think you see tanking in baseball.
No.
Frankly, I think it's hard to tank in baseball, unless you're getting up there and you're like, we're not swinging at anything. We're not swinging at a single pitch the whole time.
Well, to that point, I do you think players tank? Do you think NBA players go out and they're all trying to help themselves. So if it's the lineups are the tanks, and then those young guys are playing their butts off to try to prove they should be in the league or whatever it is, right? But yeah, I agree. Baseball, not an issue. Hockey
it can be. I mean, I think it depends on who's available in the draft. There's 100%, Buffalo and Edmonton and a few other teams. The year McDavid was coming out, and it was McDavid-Eichel combo.
Yeah,
there was definitely tanking. I mean, there's no doubt. People were tanking, and they had an eye on the draft lottery. And in retrospect, Macklin Celebrini was viewed as a very good prospect. I don't know that he was viewed as what he's turned into.
No. If
people knew that was what he was going to be, there would have been some tanking going on for Macklin Celebrini. So, but it's not as, I don't know that I've ever seen it as extreme as what we saw in the NBA this year.
Yeah, and then in the NFL, I mean, I think it happens in terms of sitting some guys and things like that, but it's such a different deal with so many fewer games, and so typically it's it might be a couple of games, right? Yep. Now the NFL, and because of that, the NFL, unlike these other leagues, I mean, a lottery is a deterrent to tanking. That's what a lottery is, right? Yep. You're not guaranteed to get the number one pick by being the worst team. So why are you sure you want to do that, right? Some people have talked about the NFL having a lottery. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, I think you see it sometimes at the very end of a season. Again, I think with all the sports, football, these guys aren't going out there and saying, "Hey, please, hit my quarterback." Now,
right.
Well, some people look like they're doing that, but it's just because they're not good at blocking. I'm not going to name any names.
Yeah,
but so I don't. I think it happens, but the thing is too, it's usually teams that are tanking, people around a league get mad about it. But typically, we have the argument. We've had the argument around here a lot, right? Fans are like, "Please lose." Yeah. I was like, "Yes, I want you to get that player. So please, I don't want you to win right now."
Well, and even in the NFL, sometimes we see teams try to tank, and then it doesn't work. Was it the reason the Titans picked number 1 overall and got Cam Ward because Joe Milton went out there and just lit it up for the Patriots in the last game?
Yeah.
It's wow, Joe Milton's out here throwing for 300 yards and winning the game out here against Buffalo. Cool.
Right. You're not gonna yell at them, say stop or 3rd and 9. I don't care. We're calling a draw play. They're still football is what those guys go through. To play a game and everything.
Yeah.
That's not something you mess with too much, right? Yes, of course, people don't understand. Teams that are doing really well, too, at the end of the year, they're like, okay, we're going to set our guys before the playoffs, and everybody understands that. But you still, you better still be, calling plays to win and obviously on the field doing whatever you can to win, too.
Mike from Pennsylvania says, I hate how now it's a big deal, but the league wasn't complaining when the Thunder kept taking on bad contracts that helped build their team, or the Spurs who tanked further a few years ago. It's pretty funny how we're getting a game 7 with 2 teams who use tanking to build. This is from Mike from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I mean, that's all fine, but when it comes down to it, first of all, again, in the NBA, you have to get lucky, unless we think that, the league fixed it for the huge market of San Antonio, Texas, and you have to make good choices, right?
Yes.
You say whatever you want about the Thunder and all that stuff, but I mean, some of these guys they have, I would not like Jalen Williams. I mean, I did not. I would not have said, "Oh, that's going to be a championship team," but look what they are. So you got to tip the cap.
Yeah, I mean, like SGA was he's 11th overall.
Yeah, it looked like he could be a good player.
Yeah, and he's turned into
he's a great player,
a superstar. Yeah.
Despite all the discourse, I'm starting to like swing back the other way to be
going to be an SGA defender,
the foul merchant.
Yeah,
he is. I mean, I saw Michael Wilbon. Did you see this thing? Which was actually pretty funny. And again, I don't watch these shows when they're live, but I see the clips on social media. So it was like, I don't know if it was Get Up or whatever. Greenberg. What is Greenberg show? Is that Get Up?
Yep.
Okay. And so it was Michael Wilbon and Jay Williams. And this made Jay Williams get up in disgust and walk off the set. But Michael Wilbon's like, basically like if he wins another championship, I'm paraphrasing, like you're going to go out and see all these little kids out there like faking like they're getting fouled and stuff like that. First of all, that already happens, dude.
Yeah, man.
Go watch. I mean, shoot. Our senior executive associate producer Tom Izzo, it said yesterday, Tyler Tanner, Jeremy Fears, maybe the two best players in college or point guards. Watch him play. Someone gets close. Oh, I mean,
it happens.
The kid from Michigan, Elliot Cadeau, is incredible at it. Oh, jerks your head. People do this. I mean, this is like people are acting like SGA is like Johnny Appleseed of foul merchanting
for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know when. That's actually an interesting story. I don't know who, because I will say, if Ed's listening, yes, I will say that in our era of the great NBA, the late 80s, people just put their heads down and smash people, and they didn't foul merchant. I don't know when it started, but let's not give SGA credit for like starting this on his own. This has been going on.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, sometimes I watch, I watch Cade Cunningham from the Pistons. I'm like, he got hit okay there. Go ahead and give him a little bit.
Yeah.
You'll get the
Sell
foul
it a
call.
little. Yeah.
If I played competitive basketball now, I'd probably do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Here and there. When it's like the momentum is carrying you into someone and there's a little bit of a hit and you can just sell it. I mean, I'd love to know who. Probably James Harden, right? Can we blame Harden?
I'd love to.
Harden, actually. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it was him.
I think it predates
him too.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd like to know.
Matt from Fairview says, if any team in the NFL looks like they're rebuilding or tanking, it's the Dolphins, trading away all their players and building around Malik Willis. I'm very interested to see how that goes. Matthew from Jolton on the text line said earlier the Cardinals are going 0-17. So maybe a couple candidates this year.
That sounds tough. Someone's saying LeBron started. You buy that?
LeBron has been an offender of it.
Yeah. I've never thought, like, he does it. I've never thought he was, I mean, he's not SGA. Okay?
No.
But that is a really.
There was just that huge gap in the 2000s where I just didn't watch much NBA. Like late 2000s to 2010. I mean, where it might have kind of picked up.
That was kind of where I did most of my watching was the early to mid 2000s and into 2010, 2014, 2015. They all did it. Like Dwayne Wade did it every now and then. Like, Carmelo did it a lot. Like it's been around.
Carmelo
for a while.
definitely did it.
Yeah.
Kobe did it.
Yeah.
Kobe absolutely
It's been around for a while.
I'm looking at AI right now. He's talking Sam Cassell, Kobe, and Durant as pioneers. With SGA. Sam Cassell.
Wow.
You're going back on that one.
Yeah.
Sam Cassell started the flopping in
if
the
that's
NBA.
the case, then then he would be like, he'd be the
He'd be
Johnny
OG.
Appleseed.
He'd be
the OG.
Yeah.
Like mid-90s Rockets. Great player at Florida State. Yeah, and again, it's like I don't mind it. I mean, you're trying to win, man. Do whatever you can do to win. It's just when it gets to a certain point, it is like when you're crumpling to the ground like you got shot.
Yeah, like every time. But some of that's on the refs too, right?
Yes.
Like some of the refs have got to be, and I understand you're talking about incredibly high level athletes going at an incredibly high level of speed. SGA in particular has developed a skill of selling it, right? Yeah. You got to do a better job as officials as picking up on some of that, I think.
Well, this is, and we've gone through this in hockey and in basketball with the idea of the flopping penalty, right? The idea of the embellishment. I mean, and I like the idea. It's hard to there we go. 615 open on TV. Let's hope there's a Robby Stanley shot. It's hard to What was my thought? I lost my thought because you're on TV.
Sorry, I totally ruined it. You're on TV back there in the background too. Look at that. Good
Wow.
stuff.
How about that?
Rexrode's on TV.
Good stuff.
No, I just think that there's when it happens every game, and you could point out a few examples every game. I think people look at it and just get tired of it, right? Like it's not especially pleasing to watch. And we also have we got every camera angle now. So like you've got 75 different angles of the same play coming, and you could see somebody in like the instant replay just throwing their head back, and you're like, oh God, like how did you not see that at the time? Knowing all full well that full speed watching that, we've got the benefit of the replay and the officials don't at the time. So I try to keep that in mind. I just like talk about things, anti-tanking. The NBA has put a big emphasis on that. Like I would probably, with our officials, start putting a big emphasis on it. We got to determine what's a foul and what's not. Like what's a foul and what's somebody just selling it all the time.
Yes, and that was my point before the TV. Nice drive by Jill Jelnick, by the way. Is like trying to penalize. Like, can you get to a point where you really, you can actually penalize people for trying to do this excessively?
I'll tell you what, we got a text on the text line that I might agree with in terms of who started this. Remember Manu Ginobili?
Yeah.
He might have been the one.
Manu,
Too much soccer in
There's
there.
a lot of
he
flopping
was
going on.
an absolute flopping machine. My good, great call on Manu.
Yeah. Any
Great
other
call.
international guys there?
That's true. You're
They
right.
they pull in the soccer.
The soccer
Yeah.
influence. The soccer influence on other
Because they
sports.
definitely do that in soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, of course, in soccer, then it's like also, oh my God, I might die soon for about 5 minutes.
Oh my
and then
God,
it's
he's up.
Rolling
Oh, he's up
around
again.
on the ground, holding your ankle,
Bring out
only
the spray.
to
Spray.
and then we're back.
yeah.
It's amazing. 615-737-1025, our phone number. Did not expect Manu Ginobili to come up on the show today.
Spurs hate.
Spurs
I
hate.
can't believe I didn't think of that. That's a great call.
615-737-1025. Coming up next, my first NFL lock of the season. You can go ahead and take it to the bank. We'll get into that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. We will get into some trash talk going on in the world of college football here in just a few minutes on the program, which is very interesting. I'm interested to get Joe's thoughts on all that.
I'm loving it.
I got my first NFL lock of the season, and this was just confirmed yesterday when some news came out. So yesterday an announcement was made, Joe, that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 will be releasing on October 23rd of 2026, which immediately got me looking at the Minnesota Vikings schedule, assuming that our good friend Kyler Murray is going to be the starting quarterback in Minnesota, which I believe he will be. I was like, okay, so October 23rd, you got Call of Duty coming out, which, as we know, Kyler, big Call of Duty guy. Yeah, it's been made pretty clear from his time in Arizona. I was like, so who does Minnesota play the week that Call of Duty is coming out? The Indianapolis Colts, Sunday, October 25th is the matchup. You got Call of Duty coming out on that Friday. Funnily enough, Minnesota has their bye week the week before that. So you got a bye week and then Call of Duty coming out on Friday, and they're playing football on Sunday. Take the Colts all day, baby. The Indianapolis Colts lock against the Minnesota Vikings coming up on Sunday, October 25th.
There we go.
My first NFL lock of the year, baby.
You got to remember this.
I mean, Kyler would be useless in that game.
Yeah.
There'll be no film at all that gets studied that week.
If the Vikings should probably like petition whatever company does Call of Duty and be like, can you just please release it a week earlier? Like we will
the bye week,
the idle week, yes, the off week. Like we will incentivize you. We will pay. We'll buy Call of Duty not for our players because we already, that's already something we have to worry about. But like we'll buy up 1 million copies if you will just release it a week earlier. Then perfect. You can absolutely deep dive Kyler, get it all out of your system, prepare for the Colts. No, that's we have to keep that date in mind. We cannot forget this in the fall.
I'm not the only one who thought this. I saw people like responding to the actual Call of Duty post, and they were like, "Oh wait, who's Minnesota got that week? Let me look. Oh, the Colts, huh? How about that? Daniel Jones out there going head to head with Kyler Murray, who will have studied zero film that week."
Oh, good God!
Do you think do the Vikings have a film study clause in his contract in Minnesota?
I don't know.
A non-Call of Duty clause?
It really is like a fascinating question. I wish that we could get, if this was coaches' salaries at public school or coaches' contracts at public schools, we could actually get that information. But I wouldn't be surprised, right? If there's something like that. Although, God, if you're him, is he too good a player to where like his agent would be like, dude, like you can't do it. Like, I don't know. That's a really I would think about having something in there,
Arizona did. So I don't know. Like, I would love to know what that looks like.
Does that follow him the rest of his career?
It's going to follow him with me the rest of his career.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt about that.
That ship has sailed.
By the way, do you have the Ian, do you have the audio of the Kyler that you sent us?
I do not.
Okay. It's pretty funny. The Kyler JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, basically
dynamic there.
Yeah, basically Kyler Murray said all, the things you would expect somebody to say in a quarterback competition.
Yeah.
And JJ McCarthy was just like, yeah, but it's kind of like being in high school and the guy's sitting next to you in high school and it's the coach's job to teach us all these things. And awkwardness, it's just kind of like somebody sitting on the other side of the room over there. Like, what are you talking about?
That was a pretty good JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was an odd take. But he was asked about whether there was awkwardness, and the awkwardness of his answer was enough.
Pretty much told you all you need to know.
Was enough to confirm the awkwardness. Yes.
So Kyler's going to win that job, right? I don't know why you bring him in if you don't think he's seriously going to win the job.
I would assume so. I've always thought he's a really interesting player. He's really talented, and he'll have games that are just like, whew,
pretty good.
He can carve teams up. So yeah, I think he'll win that job. If JJ McCarthy wins that job, that's probably a great thing for the Vikings. He has talent. He's been overall, it was pretty bad last year. he had a couple of great performances. But yeah, it'll probably be Kyler. And then it's just like, then you kind of expect it to be like pretty good, but then kind of like Kyler's career to now, which is like, then you'll have those other games where it's just bad or it's just not good enough. And so you're going to be sort of a middling team, I think, with him, right? I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you put him with Jefferson and Addison and all that stuff, and with O'Connell as his coach, and it takes off, and that's the hope. But
I mean, if you're him and you're asking for some weapons and tools there between everybody you just named, you ought to be in a good spot if you're Kyler Murray.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. But I just, it's really, I guess is it just basically giving up on JJ McCarthy right now, or just like,
yeah, was he that bad in his first year where you're like, yeah, we just got to do something else? Or is this he wasn't anywhere near as ready to play as we thought early on. Let's bring Kyler in here. And then maybe you circle back to McCarthy at some point. But like, if Kyler comes in there and plays well, how old is he?
Yeah,
he got drafted here in 2019. He's 28.
Yeah, I think this is like his 8th season or something like that.
No, he could be their long-term answer. It's interesting. I mean, I guess like if you're a Vikings fan, it's like, well, at least there's a possible answer here, right? I mean, better or less talented guys than him have on their second team in this league done really well. And so you have that, but yeah, it's probably more likely than not that JJ McCarthy just gets discarded at some point, right?
I would think so. I mean, look, Kyler's interesting because, like you said, he'll have some games where he plays really well and carves people up. He also has some games where it's just completely terrible, and I don't know like how much of that is him, how much of that is the fact that he's played for the Arizona Cardinals. I have no idea. We're going to find out this fall here. They are one of the more intriguing teams in the league to me because I have no clue what they're going to be. Like if he hits and is really good for them with the weapons they have on offense, I mean, they won 14 games a couple years ago with Sam Darnold. I mean, I'm not saying that they're going to do that again, but if he's good again, they're going to be a playoff team. Like I am really interested to see with that trio that they've got around him with O'Connell as the coach and the play caller. And then you've got, Jefferson, Addison, just what that looks like. Cause that's a lot of talent.
Yeah. Like it actually, you think about it, I haven't thought about them that much. I've kind of set them aside as like the fourth team in that division. I mean, it could be pretty freaking good.
I mean, the odds say they are the fourth team in that division.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think everybody looks at them and just sort of dismisses them. And I get it. The other three have more known commodity, and obviously the Bears had this magical season last year, but man, it is very interesting. Like a huge bounce back year for them is you would have to think would be pretty possible. And again, if not, and if he's sort of up and down and they're kind of middling, then okay, then JJ McCarthy maybe has a chance to get back into good graces and get another opportunity. But I mean, that kind of move is just not a move you make if you really believe in him, is it?
No. I mean, you don't bring in, if they really believe in him, then they're not bringing anybody to compete with him as a starter.
Yeah.
I mean, you just spend a first-round pick on
You
him.
might bring in like as good a backup as possible,
right,
as a contingency.
But it wouldn't be Kyler Murray.
But it wouldn't be Kyler Murray. No. So
I don't know.
They are actually
one of Turron Taylor. Yeah.
Right. They actually are one of the more intriguing teams in the league.
Yeah, they snuck out a few wins late. So their record was a little bit better than they ended up 9-8, I think.
9-8, yeah.
Which was better than I thought if you would have just told me that, the Vikings, considering how bad I thought they were earlier in the year. But
they won 5 in a row to end the year last year.
So I don't know if that means anything, but
I don't know.
Well, they played I know one of those wins was against the Packers with Desmond Ridder as the starting quarterback for Green Bay. So
God, I forgot about that too. There's another guy. There's another first rounder that not that long ago people were excited about.
Desmond Ridder? He was a first rounder?
Oh no, he wasn't. That's right.
Third rounder.
Third rounder?
Third round.
I believe that's correct. Yep, third round.
But he was one of the better quarterbacks in that particular.
That was a terrible quarterback draft.
That particular draft, yeah.
Matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even think he started that game. I think Desmond Ridder was the backup, and Malik started that game. Yeah.
Okay.
No, he didn't. Now I'm thinking about it again. I don't know I have no idea who started that game for the Packers. Because Love wasn't playing. And I think they were resting Malik because Malik had a shoulder injury. I have no idea who started that game for the Packers. Could not tell you. But that's one of the 5 wins Minnesota had to close out the year.
Wow. Now we need to
Now to
that
figure out who the starting quarterback was.
Yeah. Sure, it was a good decision by Matt LaFleur.
I'm sure it was. 615-737-1025, our phone number, 615-737-1025. Some trash talk going on in the world of college football. Ooh, it's a little spicy. We'll get into that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025, The Game. Hour number 2, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar here with you on this Friday morning. Presented by Green Ventures Landscaping, outdoor patios, landscaping design, lawn maintenance, and more. Check them out at greenventureslandscaping.com. We are live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios. Home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership where the buzz is always about great service. Turron Davenport will be with us at 8 o'clock for his weekly visit. We will get into all things Tennessee Titans with him. Joe, we knew yesterday on the show, had Chris Vanini on the program, and wondered what would be coming from Texas Tech at the Big 12 meetings yesterday, because it sounded like they were pretty eager to respond to Steve Sarkisian and Texas and their assertion that, hey, you know, our 2s and 3s could go play the Texas Tech schedule, and they'd end up undefeated going that way. So I was very interested to see what would happen yesterday with Texas Tech. Well, it did not disappoint. Joey McGuire, who was the coach at Texas Tech, had this to say about Steve Sarkisian and what he'd like to see happen here with Texas Tech versus Texas.
You know, Sark, we played him. We got our butts kicked the last time we played him. We're 1-1 against Texas since I've been there. And I said, there's no way they're talking about us, because Sark's a pretty tough guy. His teams are really tough. And I would think that if he was talking about us, that he would call us out. Like, he wouldn't just say, you know, just kind of this comment of, well, there's another team in our state. And so I guess he was talking about us. So I've actually talked to Keith Patterson and I've talked to GJ Kinney, and they're willing to take our games, and Abilene Christian will go to Texas State. We'll buy our contract out of Abilene Christian. I'm sure, because Texas has got a lot of money, they can buy their contract out. But I do know there's a lot of Red Raiders that will help them buy that contract out if they don't want to. And they can come to Lubbock week 1. And, you know, we can figure out if their 2s and 3s can win this conference. And I know a lot of people are going to say a lot of stuff about me or about us. We didn't score in the playoffs. That's obvious. You can take a shot at us for that. We didn't score in the playoffs. Last time we played Texas, we got beat 57-7, and he played some of his 2s and 3s. They kicked the crap out of us. But, you know, I know he feels really good about his team if he's making those comments. And, man, we would love to play the University of Texas week 1 in Lubbock. I do know that Cody Campbell reached out to Stephen Jones, so they don't want to come to Lubbock, and we're going to work on trying to get AT&T week 1. So if they want to play week 1, then we're ready. We would love to play the University of Texas.
So that was the response yesterday from Texas Tech. Joe, your thoughts?
Well, and then Cody Campbell, I believe later, came out and said, yeah, I'll buy out the Texas game too. I mean, Cody Campbell has, you know,
a lot of money,
billions of dollars. So he is. So Texas Tech is offering, legitimately, I believe them, 100% believe them. They're offering to buy out their game, buy out the Texas opening game, and make this game happen. If you don't do this, you yellow belly, lily livered Texas Longhorn cowards, then I don't. The whole season is invalidated. I don't care what else you do. You can go out there with Arch and win the Heisman and win the Natty. I mean, come on. This is. I take these guys at their word. Some people hate Texas Tech. I happen to be fans of what they're doing. And yeah, like when you have all the money, you can just go out there and like set the market and do all these things. But I take them seriously. I really do. And I think this absolutely needs to happen. You know how bad that first week is already?
Oh, it's not good.
It's not good. This would become instantly the absolute must-watch game of the first week. And I understand TV schedule's already set. I don't care. People will figure this out. This would become the most interesting like Big 12 football game involving a Big 12 team in a while. I mean, obviously Texas Tech I had high hopes that they'd at least give Oregon a game in the playoff.
Yeah.
But like this is, I'm taking this seriously, and I really want to see it. And I really can't wait to hear the Texas reaction. I mean, what could you say if you're Sarkisian right now? Like, if you like, well, we have I mean, what he would if he was given truth serum, he'd say, well, we lost to Ohio State, and that's why we didn't get in the playoff. No, it's not why you didn't get in the playoff. Play this game. This is people will be impressed if you play this game.
Well, the problem is they play Ohio State again this year, the next week.
Well,
so this is not going to happen.
I mean,
they've got Ohio State in week 2 at home on September the 12th.
Then don't open your mouth because they've called your bluff and they are giving you
the reason that Texas Tech knows that this is not going to happen. I don't buy this at all. This is all fluff from Texas Tech.
I buy it
because they know it's not going to happen because they know Texas plays Ohio State week 2. So now they're running their mouth. That's what this is.
I think they would do it. I really do. I think that they would do it. I mean, well, I guess the only way we'd find out is if Texas actually says, sure, okay.
I mean, I'd love to see it. I really would. But that to me, my first thought was like, okay, so you're running your mouth because you know Texas isn't going to do this because they're playing Ohio State week 2. And then they're playing Tennessee week 4.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. But, again, it's like it wasn't that long ago. Like you're allowed to have like tough games back-to-back weeks. You have it in conference play, which of course.
Well, I think Sark's point would be like, yeah, we do that all season long in the SEC, and you guys don't in the Big 12.
Yeah,
that would be the point I would make if I'm Sark.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, this is the fact that they've actually like made contact on this, and have actually looked into like buying out the games. You may be right that they're like, oh, please don't say yes. I mean, Texas probably would beat them, by the way.
Yes. I think if Texas is what they appear to think that they are.
Yeah, I mean, just with Arch and those weapons on offense.
Also, who's playing quarterback for Texas Tech?
Yeah, I mean the kid who hurt his knee might be ready by then. But and that's the thing.
I'd love to see it.
If you're a Texas fan, because they have the Sorsby situation.
Yeah.
And maybe, maybe you do. It's like, well, we're not coming to your place. Okay, fine. AT&T Stadium. Are you not confident that you could go in, beat them down, and then still beat Ohio State at home the next week? I mean, come on.
I mean, look, I'm with you. I'd love to see it. I know what Sark's response would be. We got Ohio State the week after that. You got Tennessee. You got Oklahoma. That's all within like the first 5 weeks of the season. So why would he do this?
Because he's got such a great team.
I'm just saying. I mean, go look at Texas Tech's schedule, though, which I think is the point. Like, Texas Tech plays Abilene Christian, Oregon State, Houston, Sam Houston, Colorado is their first 5 games. And then look at Texas's schedule. It's very different.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, that Texas could probably win at least that part of it with the 2s and 3s.
Yes, they could.
Now, could they win the Big 12 with their 2s
Probably
and 3s? Not. I mean, shut up, Sark. That's kind of the whole point of a lot of the last month is shut up, Sark.
Yeah.
Like,
Sark,
let's have a playoff before the SEC title game.
He's clearly feeling himself a little bit this offseason, right? I mean, he's always, I guess, to some degree, spoke his mind, but I feel like he's taken it to an extreme level this offseason.
I mean, the disrespect for the very difficult craft of basket weaving alone.
That's true.
Is problematic.
I would love to see Texas say, you know what? Okay, yeah, let's do it. I'd love to see it because you're right. I mean, the intrigue in that game, if it played out that way, would be awesome. Like, I'd love to see it. I just don't think there's any chance that happens.
It would save week 1.
Yeah,
it would save week 1. I mean, there better be a response from Texas. I mean, you're right. Of course, because if the response from them is, well, we play Ohio State the next week. Well, you're a bunch of lily-livered, yellow-bellied.
Anytime
wusses.
You can use lily-livered, I'm cool with it.
Thank you.
What is the best week 1 game in college football? Like I'm looking through.
There's like one decent one, right? I mean, seriously,
it's not great, college.
No, it's and again, this is a problem. And this is if the 2014 goofballs can promise me that we'll have better games, then I guess begrudgingly accept
LSU
it.
Clemson.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's pretty light, man. Like, there's not a lot going on.
Louisville plays somebody, right?
I'm looking through the entire list. There's a lot of teams on this list. I'll find.
I think they play Sunday or Monday.
Okay.
Actually, do they play in Nashville?
They play Louisville, Ole Miss in Nashville.
So, okay.
And then you got Wisconsin, Notre Dame, which I don't know how good that's going to
No,
be.
I don't think that'll be very good. But Louisville, Ole Miss, maybe decent if Louisville can mount a chance.
Man, this week one sucks. This
Yeah.
is bad.
No, it's bad. And it's really alarming to see these series getting canceled. So, I don't know. I don't know how that changes, but it needs to change.
People saying if Sark isn't scared, you got to play Texas Tech. Mike from Pennsylvania says it's really smart by Texas Tech. They got nothing to lose doing this. And when Texas says they play Ohio State week 2, Texas Tech could say later, so you're scared to play 2 good teams in a row? Now, again, they could say that. And my response would be like, are you scared to play any good teams?
Well, they're saying they want Texas. Yes. And Mike from BA says, yeah, how are you going to advance the playoffs if you make it? You also say, hey, guy, that's a thing we didn't have in that quote. At some point, Joe McGrath was like, I forget who'd they play in the first round last year? Because we were in the playoff. What did Texas do in the playoff last year? I forgot.
Yeah. Now,
let it roll.
When you get shut out in the playoff, that may not be the time to do that. But yeah, I hear you.
They still played. One was in, one wasn't.
615-737-1025. What do you think? Should Texas respond to the challenge that's been laid out there by Texas Tech and move this schedule around, play week 1? We'll take your thoughts on that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game, our football offseason coverage brought to you by Tennessee Brew Works, the official craft beer of offseason coverage here on ESPN 102.5 The Game. Taking your thoughts on the challenge that Texas Tech has laid out there to Texas. Says, hey, you know what? We'll buy out Abilene Christian for week 1. We'll buy out your game against Texas State for week 1, and let's go play. Come to Lubbock, or if that doesn't work for you, we'll make this game happen in Jerry World. We'll at least try. Coming up in week 1 on September the 5th. Should Texas take them up on this challenge? And Mitch in Bellevue says, please let this be week 1 in Jerry World. A-Dub on the YouTube chat says, Texas has to take this game. They shouldn't have left the Big 12. It's pretty simple then. We'll see.
I'm totally on Texas Tech's side on this. I mean, Texas better respond. I don't want to see any of this radio silence. Let's see a response here. You know,
he's talked about everything else this offseason. You got to respond to this, don't you?
Yeah. Now, of course, they're away from, like, they're done with the spring meeting, so they don't have a microphone in the face. But yeah, I don't want to see some lame tweeted statement of, well, we honor our commitments to Abilene. You know, no. Let's talk this through. Let's talk this out, because you should feel confident that you can hammer that team and shut them up. And then you should be able to beat Ohio State. I mean, that should be a great game. You know, Ohio State was saying back, and obviously Jeremiah Smith, but I mean, at Texas, you should be able to, you can do that. To the point of the Texas, it's like, this is what it is now. College football is trying to become the NFL. That's what it is. You got to win. If we're going to go to 24, 4 or 5 games in a row, hard teams after playing the league schedule. I mean, that's so may as well get used to it, buddy. Also, I will say that in all seriousness on Texas Tech, and, you know, we've talked about a little bit about this legislation. One of the big things about the legislation, which Ted Cruz made a big deal out of, he did a big media tour yesterday, is, you know, the goal of preventing a super league, right?
Yep.
There's language in there that would not basically allow the Big Ten and SEC to join forces.
Yeah.
Also to pool the broadcast rights. I know people find this stuff boring, but it's actually fascinating. Trust me. The Sports Broadcast Act of 1961, it allowed professional leagues to pool their broadcasting rights. That's why the NFL has $1 billion, because they pool everything and they make more money as a result. Cody Campbell's idea is for college football to do that. And now, again, I don't know if his projections are real, but, and actually, like last year, I talked to him for like a long time about this, because he just has time for,
Apparently so.
He has time to, you know, talk about things. And I will say that I was convinced after hearing the whole thing that there's so much more revenue that they could generate. And that's all they talk about, right? How much more revenue to save this and that. His whole thing is save, you know, the non-revenue sports, the Olympic sports. The SEC and Big Ten people constantly rip him and say, well, he just wants, you know, he's Texas Tech guy. He just wants. Well, let me tell you something. If he's close to right on this, you tell me who is looking out for the betterment and the greater good of college football more, Cody Campbell or Greg Sankey and Toady freaking game show host Petiti? Who's looking out for college football more? Yes, it's self-serving. He's a Texas Tech guy. He wants the Big 12 to be on equal footing, and I get all that. But if it's actually that much more revenue, why is Greg Sankey out here dunking on it right away? Because he just cares about the SEC. So again, if we're going to be in our little silos, and everybody's going to be in their little factions, then it's going to be bad for the sport at large. And look at all the things that have happened. I got to give Cody Campbell credit, and I do believe that there's more to him than just, I want Texas Tech to win. I'm going to spend all the money, and I'm a Texas Tech guy. What do they call it? Guns up or whatever. Is that what it is?
I don't know what they do.
Guns out.
I just know it's not
guns
Texas
unholstered,
A&M, which is fine with me as long as it's not Texas A&M. And all the weird stuff they do, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, guns something.
Football in that state's quite fascinating.
Guns cocked. Yeah, it really is. No, but listen, I mean, if there, you know, this bill, which again I don't think is ever going to pass anyway.
Guns up, by the way.
Okay, guns up. Thank you. Guns up. So that's like this, like before a duel. Yeah, like Yosemite Sam.
That's exactly it. Yes,
right. But look, if like if his projections are close to accurate, then again, the SEC and the Big Ten, they should consider this. They should consider what is better for college athletics. You lead college athletics. You have the final say on everything. And you're just going to go in your own little rooms and, no, I don't care. SEC. You're going to break away. Yeah, you're going to break away and have your own championship. Oh, this is the national championship. You absolute idiots. People make me sick.
Ethan from Lawrenceburg says, yeah, Campbell made about $100,000 while I was on the phone with you, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
Just printing money.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Jacob on the YouTube chat says, I agree that this should happen, but honestly, what does Texas have to gain from playing this game? Texas Tech has nothing to lose, and Texas can only lose something by playing this. I would agree with that largely. I think that's probably what you'll see come out from the Texas side. If anything comes out from the Texas side, it's like, well, how about we do this? We have Ohio State the next week.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to be lily-livered wusses, then yes, that's how they should look at it. I think they'd win that game by 3 touchdowns. I think they'd be able to rest. I think they'd be able to play some 2s and 3s and really talk trash after the game.
I mean, wouldn't that be something if they
wouldn't it be?
Just handled it?
I think they could. Like Texas Tech, they lost a lot of guys.
David Bailey ain't walking through that door.
No, and obviously Sorsby, who is good, maybe not as good as they think with what they paid him, would have made a difference. But no, go in there and beat their ass and give us a game that we want to watch in week 1.
I mean, I'm looking at
Texas something, someone in the SEC that isn't infuriating.
I mean, I'm all for it selfishly. I need Texas as I don't know if beat up is the right word, but I need them as worn down as possible heading into Neyland on Saturday, September 26th. Wear them down. Get Texas Tech out there, Ohio State. I'm not worried about UTSA the week before, but those 2 before that, be nice.
UTSA, man, the Roadrunners.
The Roadrunners.
Don't sleep on them. But yeah, that actually could really benefit Tennessee.
It could. Trap game too. Got Oklahoma a couple weeks later if you're Texas.
Boy, that
Texas schedule is pretty tough now. I'm looking at
what a game that would be for Heupel to win.
They got at LSU, at Texas A&M the end of the year. Tickets for the Texas A&M game are already going for about $500. That's the low you can get in. All right,
that'll be
sounds
a scene.
Good.
Yeah, that'll be a scene.
So yes or no, does this happen? Your official prediction.
I think you're right. It probably doesn't happen, but it's not acceptable. Like they better at least entertain this publicly and talk it through and explain why. And again, if your explanation is, I mean, you laid it out. An outsider could say they play Ohio State the next week. Why are you going to give yourself those 2 games in a row? You needed to have a warm-up game for Ohio State. That's what everybody wants to do, right? They have if they can get a warm-up game in for a huge game, that's what they like to do. You can say that. They better not say that. If you're going to talk all this trash about your 2s and 3s and blah, 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 no. So, I mean, no, I don't think it'll happen. But I disagree with you that Texas Tech is not serious. I think they would absolutely do it because they're like, not only are they out there spending all this money and and all this stuff.
I'm not even saying that they're not serious. They know it's not going to happen.
Well,
what I'm saying.
That may be, yeah. But to me, they are doing everything they can to be relevant. I mean, they're paying softball pitchers $1 million, and this is another one of those things that Texas Tech. Whoever talked about when Patrick Mahomes played, no one talked about Texas freaking Tech. No. Mike Leach is the funniest coach in the history of sports, and no one cared that when he was at Texas Tech.
It's true.
Texas Tech is actually a thing now. So I think they'd do it.
615-737-1025 is our phone number, 615-737-1025. It's regional action for Tennessee this weekend. What do we make of their chances, and is there a lack of buzz for the Vols heading into all this? We'll get into that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at 1025 The Game for live shows and exclusive content, plus the opportunity to join our exclusive, outstanding YouTube chat that we enjoy every day here on the show. Taking your thoughts also on our phone and text lines, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. The regional beginning today for Tennessee as they head out to North Carolina to take on East Carolina today, and then we'll see where things go from there. So game one for Tennessee will be against East Carolina later today. You got VCU as the 4 seed in this matchup. North Carolina, obviously the top seed in this matchup. We had Ben McKee on earlier this week from GoVols 24/7, and he talked about it's a loaded group. I mean, East Carolina got a lot of postseason history. VCU, by the metrics, is the top number 4 seed in the tournament. So tough regional that's coming up, both from the Tennessee front, and I would imagine if you're North Carolina, you're looking at this like, oh, great, cool. You get Tennessee, and then you get some teams in here that are no pushovers, no cupcakes in this. Joe, what do you make of the regional for Tennessee, and what do you make of the excitement level, or maybe lack thereof, we're sensing from Vols fans heading into this?
Well, I don't know. Tennessee fans set me straight if I'm just missing that. And I don't know. I mean, maybe it, like you talked, like you said, you had been on this week to talk about it. I feel like there's usually a little more discussion about baseball going to the tournament for us. Now, then, usually we have 2 teams to talk about. We have Vanderbilt and Tennessee to talk about.
And
a lot of times they're both hosting games.
Well, that's the thing. Over the past few years, they've both, at different times been very good and been number 1 overall seeds in this thing heading into it.
Yeah. And then I wondered, is there just something also just because Tony Vitello's not part of it because he was such a huge personality and a part of this, friend of the show, had some good, he did some good radio work here, times here. It feels like there's a lot less buzz. Again, I get it. Like if you're a 2 seed, you're on the road. That means you're not favored to even get to a super regional. I think they absolutely can. As you laid out, I think it could go. You could probably have 3 different teams that could come out of this regional, and no one would be like totally shocked, But it just, I was just thinking about last night. It's like, man, like it starts tomorrow, and if even for me, and again, some of it is just like being ready for like a long run for local teams, as opposed to, well, we'll see if Tennessee, the one team that's in it, can do anything. And of course, Vanderbilt, 19 straight, and that streak ends. So it's a very different feeling.
Well, they play East Carolina today at 11 o'clock, so get started here in a few hours. I'm interested to see, what they decide to do with their pitching heading into all this. The offense, as we talked with Ben about earlier this week, really heated up, last month and a half of the season where they started to really hit the ball well. I'm with you. Like they've got a chance to get out of here and get to the supers, which if you would have told people before the season, I mean, look, in retrospect, and we probably should have talked more about this at the time, like I do think people probably severely undersold the transition period going from Vitello as coach to Elander. And I think all things considered, I mean, when you break it down, he won more games as a first-year head coach than anybody in the history of the Tennessee baseball program. Now, I understand that that's a flawed stat from the standpoint of he took over a very talented team. Obviously, this program now is in a much different spot than it was before Tony Vitello get there. So I get all that. Like, I understand all those things. But, at the end of this, if they're able to punch their ticket to the super regionals in his first year, I mean, to me, that's an extremely positive indication of where they could be headed under him here. So, look, I have no idea if they're going to get out of this regional or not. North Carolina obviously is very good, and they're going to be the favorite in this thing here. But it's not, it's not going to be some huge shock if Tennessee goes in there and wins and gets to the super regional here. So I'm fascinated to see how it goes. I'm fascinated to see if they can keep hitting the ball the way they've been hitting the ball over the last month or so, because if they do, I think you're going to give yourself a real good shot in this regional here.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think you're right. You're taking over, you're inheriting a Ferrari, so but that's also hard. It's hard. You see like Kalen DeBoer. It's like, is that what you? And I'm not saying Tony Vitello is like Nick Saban, but won a championship and was incredibly successful.
Oh, he's incredibly well liked.
And there's that too. The person, but I feel like Elander's just been himself, and it's he's like most baseball coaches, kind of boring.
Yeah, he's a completely different person.
But that's fine. Doesn't mean he can't do a good job. It seems like he's had a pretty steady hand with this team, and when things didn't look good at times this year, they've really kind of some of the guys he's kind of stuck with in the lineup that have started to produce and navigated some issues with the pitching things like that. I think he's done a pretty good job. Texter says, I'm not super invested because I know they aren't going far in the tournament. Yeah,
maybe.
You don't know that, but yeah, I mean that's probably the bigger thing than anything. It's just the fact that the expectations are high. But like this team getting to a super would not be shocking. And then you get to a super, okay. It's best out of it's best out of
regular
3.
series, yeah.
Yeah. So this is not like them being in Omaha. That would be an incredible job by him, especially when you look at the whole season. But it's not totally out of the realm possibility.
Well, if we're going hyper locally, like here in Nashville, obviously we've talked individually about both programs a lot over the last few years. But I mean, when tournament time comes around, one of the things we've talked about every year is, all right, well, who's going further? Is it going to be Tennessee or is it going to be Vanderbilt? And when you don't have Vanderbilt in there this year, I do think that takes away from some of the overall interest. Like for Tennessee fans, for me, like casual, I would describe myself as a very casual college baseball fan. Like this is about the time of year where I'll turn on and actually watch it. I'll watch it at different points throughout the year. I love watching Tennessee and Vandy play in their series, but this year it happened on the same weekend as the NCAA tournament. So it's not didn't quite work out that way.
Terrible.
But like, I think for like a lot of people here locally, yeah, they've gotten more and more into college baseball, but I think they've really gotten into Tennessee versus Vanderbilt as a rivalry. And that when you don't have that option heading into the tournament, I think that hurts it.
Right. Tennessee fans can't hate watch Vanderbilt. Now, Vanderbilt fans can hate watch Tennessee, but that's all they got. So when they can both hate watch each other while hoping their side goes far there, that
adds
makes a
to
difference. And actually, to your point there on the series, I think that series gets a lot of eyeballs that aren't watching up until then.
Yeah.
And so then that's when a lot of people get to know some guys on a team too. I mean, there were some Tennessee fans who found out about some of those wacky dudes when they came here a few years ago and, wiped their butts on the plate or whatever they did. I mean, that's the type of stuff that people get to know a team.
Wow. Jordan Beck's got his finger up, his middle finger up, just running around the bases. Huh? How about that?
That was
much later.
Yeah, that was much later, but yes. But that's like that series should be featured. Yeah. What a disastrous schedule.
Should never be that
decision. Another thing by the SEC that's taking me off. Chase asked on the YouTube chat about the Lady Balls. They have a real shot. They beat Texas yesterday in the Women's College World Series. That's huge. So they're in the winner's bracket. Alabama is obviously the big, number one. I mean, Tennessee won 2 out of 3 from Alabama this year. So, I mean, that's been a consistently great program. You'd like to see them fit. They never quite get over the hump at the very end.
Yep.
And that would be great to see. I mean, that's a big time start to beat the non-official UT, the lesser UT, the non, the real
one
UT
that was not a state while Tennessee was
not
college.
Real,
yes.
Exactly. UT, and that. So there's that too. They got a chance.
Jeremy in Clarksville says Vols fans are too hyped about a possible 2014 playoff and becoming a football playoff dynasty. Baseball's on the sideline. Yeah, but 2014 playoffs, what we need.
5 straight years.
Back,
5 straight years. We were a team also receiving votes, which got us into the playoffs.
Yep.
Yay!
Good stuff coming up. Get excited.
Robert in Nashville. This will be the best regional in 15 years because there's no whistling jackass in the background. Oh, boy. Got to take a shot at the whistler.
615-737-1025, our phone number. The Rex Rant with Joe Rexrode coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game.
Sometimes he wakes up on the wrong side of the bed. And sometimes he's just, well, Joe.
Awkward moment. Let's do it.
This is the Rex Rant, now on Robby and Rexrode.
I might lose my mind today.
Next spring meetings, a Feinbaum Rexrode shirtless desk appearance on the beach.
Joe, do you have pointy nipples that show through the polo?
Hopefully scale down the crazy dressing habits that he picked up down there.
Cooked carrots. Let me feed you your broccoli. Call me a baby or old school or whatever.
I don't know that I have especially pointy nipples.
It both entertains and disgusts me.
Harumph all day.
They have showers in Nolansville.
But sometimes I definitely notice my nipples.
It is time for the Rex Rant, brought to you by Rapid Response Generators. Power when it matters most. Served by the Wine Cellar in Hendersonville as well. Joe, I must say I am disappointed that we've gone through the spring meetings this year with the SEC and no shirtless desk appearance with you and Paul Feinbaum.
Yeah, it's too bad. I know. I'm sure the ratings suffered for it. So sorry, Paul. You know, we'll see what we can do in the near future. I'll try to get some really tight shirts. I mean, it's not hard to do.
No.
Very easy for me to find tight shirts. So before I get into this, I want to shout out Nick Suss from the Tennessean. Did you see his story on seed oils?
I did. Yes.
Outstanding work.
Yes.
That's called big J journalism right there. I would advise everybody to read Nick Suss's story in the Tennessean about seed oils. He talked to like 5 different dietitians and got actual information. And by the way, like, it's pretty stupid what Robert Sal said. I mean, like that's my takeaway. Is like,
it that bad, huh?
Well, I mean, essentially, like, yes, they are found in a lot of things. Like, they're certainly in products that are bad for you.
Chips.
But like, here's 12 other things in those that are actually worse for you. You know, I mean, it's basically like, yes, they're like, you want to just like moderation, but for the most part, it's just very overblown. So. Good job, Nick Suss. Now, I want to talk about Katie Rexrode. So I love my wife. I don't know if she's listening right now. Hopefully not. She was listening yesterday when Charles was on with us, and she texted me like, "Would you tell him to stop rambling?"
Charles, take notes.
Yeah, but she's always giving Charles a hard time. But I'm going to talk about last weekend. You know, we went to a Dave Matthews show. As some people who listen to the show know, we do that from time to time. I don't know. Katie, she says she's in her 90s on Dave Matthews shows. I have no idea. It seems about right. I haven't gone to nearly as many, but I've gone to a lot with her. We usually try to go to a few in a summer, maybe 3, something like that. So we went to Orange Beach, and this is something that Katie's always done. It's fine. But in this instance, it really it got a little annoying. So she just likes to make friends with other couples,
Okay.
So it's like first of all, we're sitting at this like seafood place, sitting at the bar, like that's walkable to the arena or the whatever
venue.
Yeah, the amphitheater, and just having some oysters. I had 2, as I said. Got to be careful. Got to be careful with the gout. Drinking a wine, not drinking a beer. And, this couple sits down, and so Katie starts talking to them. Okay, fine, whatever. And they're nice people. Like, dude's like a bail bondsman in Louisiana. His
Maybe good to know.
Girlfriend is a defense lawyer. Also good to know.
They like Dave? Or were they there for
Dave?
Dave?
They were there going to the Dave concert. So, we were talking about our kids. Also, fine conversation. No, okay, Like, would I like to sit there and probably just like talk with me and Katie? Probably. It's kind of like a couple's getaway, but hey, that's fine. We'll make some friends with these people, talk to them. It's fine. So then we walk to the thing with them, and then like Katie gets in line to get a poster, Dave Matthews. She likes to do that. So then they get.
She have a good poster collection?
She's got a few. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how big, but yeah.
I've accumulated a bunch of posters over the years.
Have you?
I got big into the posters for a hot minute, kind of calmed down.
Yeah.
And now I kind of only buy posters to shows I go to.
Yeah.
I've even bought posters from bands that I like of shows that I haven't been to just because I like the artist in the band. But side note.
Well, you and Katie should hang out.
Sure. I'm down with that. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, yeah. So she has a few. And but she's waiting in line, and then I had to go. I think I went to the bathroom or something. And then we lost the other couple. I'm like, I guess they didn't want to hang out with us anymore. Okay, well, hey, that's fine. So I go get in line to get her a beer and get popcorn. I come back. She's in the line for merch. She has made friends with another couple. And so we're talking to them. It's like, yeah, this is this guy and nice people, whatever. This is her first Dave show. So, oh my God, you're gonna love it. We're talking about Dave Matthews, all this stuff. So we're close to the front of the line. The concert starts, and they start with number 41, which is a very popular song, but it's something like, oh my God. I'm like, Katie, we're not waiting in line for the poster anymore. Like, come on, the show started. She's like, oh, I don't know. She gets this girl to buy the poster for her. I'm like, so wait, she's going to buy the poster for you? And then what? Okay. So we run to our seats, watch the concert, and she's texting with her new friend who she met 10 seconds ago who bought the poster for her. So in the middle of the show, Katie goes and gets the poster from them. Okay. So then after the show, you have to wait out the crowd. And so there's if anybody's been to Orange Beach, it's like this wharf and they've got bars and stuff like that. So you go to this bar, there's a band playing, and we're just going to wait out the crowd, get an Uber, back to the hotel. So this couple is coming to meet us there to hang out. I'm like, can we just hang out here at the bar, But no, they're going to come. So they come for a while. This loud music. No one can talk. I'm overserved. It's we're jamming out to this band playing 90s music. They leave. She makes friends with another couple, talking to them. I don't even know how you can hear anybody talk. But this guy is a veteran, and he lost his leg in Afghanistan. I mean, it's Memorial Day weekend, and so we're like, man, thank you so much for your service, all this stuff. And then he starts coming to me. He's like, well, thank you so much for your dad's service, because apparently Katie told her that my dad served in Vietnam. I'm like, well, I had nothing to do with that, man. But I mean, that's cool. I thank you. You actually served. So I'm yelling this at a bar, and I'm like, are you just going to make friends with everybody in town? These are all fine people, okay? These are all fine people, but why am I not enough, Katie? Why am I not enough?
What I hear is Katie is a connector of people. That's what I hear.
Well, she's social, and that's cool, but it's the one couple came, and they're like, okay, we're going to leave now. Okay, don't know your names. Bye. Good to meet you. Oh, hi, new couple.
For somebody who generally
She's
enjoys, talking with people, I will say, when I'm out in public, I don't do it much. I'm like, I think I'm just going to avoid this conversation.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's like, hey, be polite.
Keep it moving.
But if I'm sitting at a bar, alone, I generally it's like, you know what? I'm just going to sit here, watch TV, or do something on my computer. And Katie just has to. Yeah, Zach says, sounds like Katie doesn't want to talk to you, Joe. Maybe that's it. Maybe when it comes down to can I talk to anyone? No, Franklin Graham says, so Rexrode loves the upside down pineapple. No, and I don't want people to think that either. That's Kaharski. That's more of a Kaharski type of thing,
A social butterfly. That's from C from Franklin. People said, it sounds like a great time. You got to calm down a little bit.
I mean, I'm calm, but it's again, at some point it's really another one?
So if you guys would have stayed there, she'd have just kept going, huh? Just made friends with everybody in the amphitheater.
I guess. Yeah. And that happens.
Does that happen at every Dave Matthews concert that you guys go to?
We almost inevitably end up talking to someone near us, which again is almost never me. It's like, oh, hey, hi, good to see you. I think that's it. She doesn't want to talk to me. Thank you for making me come. This is a moment of clarity for me.
It says, well, I'm not Sigmund Freud, but it would appear your wife can't spend more than 10 minutes alone with you. Oh, God, Joe.
Another texter says, my wife is the same damn way.
Yep.
I mean, it's, again,
I'm Team Katie on this.
Nothing against being social and friendly and all these things. But, yeah, then maybe that's it. It's just anyone but Joe for conversation. No upside down pineapples.
So did she got her poster, right? So they met back up and got it.
During a song that she wasn't excited about, she left and went and found them and got her poster and Venmo'd this girl. You've known her for 9 seconds.
Got exchange phone numbers, text each other. Where are you?
That's pretty quick.
Yeah. We'll see you at the bar later, whatever your names are.
It's been the Rex Rant with Joe Rexrode. check it out every morning here on the program. Turron Davenport with us coming up next. You're listening to Robby and Rexrode 102.5 The Game.
ESPN's Turron Davenport, Talking Titans, now on Robby and Rexrode on ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It is that time of the week. We head to our phone line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Welcome in our friend Turron Davenport to the program from ESPN, presented by Bart Durham Injury Law. TD, good morning. How we doing? What's going on?
Good morning, fellas. How are you?
Doing awesome.
Good.
Man. Appreciate you taking time to be with us this morning. So, TD, I want to start here. What have been your impressions, your very early impressions with Robert Saleh and the program that he's trying to get established here with the Tennessee Titans? What have you thought of your experience with him to this point?
So far, it's been good. It's very clear he's really image conscious and wants to make sure that the right picture is going out there. I do like the way he seems to be able to motivate the players and just not necessarily motivate them, but just like keep the energy high. The practice that we got to see, I think it was put together really well, and it's clear he knows what he's doing. It's not exactly like the same type of authoritarian as Mike Vrabel, which I know a lot of people make that association, but he's his own person, and it's clear that he's a leader of this organization.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, TD, because I was just thinking about all those years of it was pretty entertaining being out there with Vrabel running a practice because he'd kind of just bark things out and he'd say sarcastic stuff, and he could use the F word in very creative ways. But his voice was dominant, right? And obviously, there's a big difference going to like Brian Callahan, but a lot of coaches I think are not like that. But it sounds like Brian Daboll sort of has that too.
Oh, yeah.
Is it a situation where it's almost like he's more even like of a presence vocally than Saleh is in a practice?
I would say yes. Daboll is spicy. It's fun standing. So the way they have it set up, we're almost forced to stand behind them when they're working team period, right? Whereas before, if you remember, you could go down to the 10-yard line and look down, or either the 10 to look down and get a clear picture. So the way it's now, we're stuck right there. So you have no choice but to be right behind Daboll, and you hear him making the play calls, and you hear his reaction, once things happen. It's pretty cool. I like Daboll as far as the energy that he brings, and it's clear he doesn't stand for any foolishness.
So, TD, we've talked all offseason long about, Cam Ward taking that next step and, going from year one to year two, seeing a big jump and improvement. For you, when you're looking at Cam Ward heading into this next season, what does that look like for you? Like, what are some things you're looking for from Cam Ward that would signify to you that he's taken that next step?
I think one of the biggest things is his ability to just take the simple throw, right? You don't always have to make the near impossible throw. Sometimes it's going to call for it, but other times, hey, check it down, live to see another play, and make a little bit of a profit. We're broke that way. So I think that's really the big thing. I think also when you look at him, his ability to get the timing right and his drops right, whereas he's more in line with the receivers and their routes and things like that. Last year there were times where he got back there too fast. Then there were other times he got back to the top of his drop too slow. So if they could get that right and the offense kind of could play more within the timing, I think that would be a lot better.
So the slimming down with MTD, is it obvious, and is it something you think will matter for him in his game?
Yeah, I think it is obvious. Just as far as he seemed to be able to move around better, but even you could see it in his face and his body that he is in better shape. Whereas before, there's a little pouch underneath that jersey. You don't have that this year, so that's a good thing. He said he dropped 10 pounds.
TD, on the Femi Oladejo front, what are you looking for early in the season from him? When you're looking at the Titans and what they're going to do out on the edge there, what do you think that rotation looks like early on? How involved do you expect Oladejo to be from the jump?
Yeah, I think he's going to be heavily involved. He'll probably be that second wave of defender. And when you look at the biggest thing with him is just his ability to establish a pass rush plan and understand what it is that he needs to do to get to the quarterback. That's the key thing, and just how he's able to layer moves, right? He needs to establish first a move, and then on top of that, a counter.
With that group, because there are bodies. I mean, there's certainly different options and a couple really important pieces for for the future of this franchise, needing them to work out. But do you still look at it like, because there are there's some veterans out there that you might be able to get some production from? Do you look at it like there's still a possibility that Mike Borgonzi could look around in that way?
Yeah, I mean, I think on the O-line, Zeitler continues to be a guy that I could see them signing. That's the main one. Other than that, maybe, depending on what corners free up, that could be an option too, but I don't think they'll be too active.
TD, on the preseason front, I mean, Saleh said last week that, it's subject to change, but the starters are going to play in all 3 preseason games as of now, that being his plan. Do you feel like in the NFL we're starting to see that come back a little bit? Like, I think for a while it was like, yeah, none of the starters are just going to play hardly at all in the preseason. Do you feel like the last couple of years we're starting to see maybe a little bit more value placed in actually getting guys out there, even if it's for a series or two, and getting some reps under their belt?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's coming down to a lot of these coaches are understanding that those first 2 or 3 games have almost, in essence, become tune-up games, and you only get 17 of them. So, you don't really have too many opportunities to throw a game away. So, yeah, the tune-up is starting to happen now in the preseason as it was meant to.
Guy, I'm really fascinated to see, and I think that they might have a major steal is Nick Singleton. I know the foot thing is still healing. Do you know and this may have been out there and I just missed it, but the timeline on him being able to actually be out there and be active?
It's possible that he'll be ready for training camp. They're doing a lot of things. Now, he's working with Brent Callaway, who used to be the head of Exos in Frisco. And then last year he was with the Dolphins, but he's now here with the Titans. That's who he's working with a lot, in addition to the other strength and conditioning coaches and rehab. But I think when you look at him, you got to make sure that thing is right, because he is 220 pounds. He runs with there's a lot of violence, there's torque. So you want to make sure that Jones fracture, is recovered, because your foot, that's a running back. That's everything. So.
TD, with Anthony Hill Jr. coming in, and with obviously Cedric Gray being there, what do you think this season, this year's role looks like for Cody Barton as the season goes along?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a reserve linebacker for them, behind both of those guys you mentioned, special teamer also, and I could see him getting some action in sub packages. It's just right now he'll probably be in the starting lineup. Eventually, Anthony Hill Jr., once things start to slow down and he's able to play with speed and everything, I think he's going to be fine. He actually had a pick six last week.
Flight to Tampa. If you brought more than one chair in, please put that text versus
TD, thank you. We'll wrap it up. Like TD's at the airport here, so we'll wrap up with TD. We'll catch back up with TD next week there. We'll take your thoughts on what TD had to say on the Tennessee Titans there, but that lady was speaking right over the top of him.
Did she just grab his phone?
Like, hey, man.
Attention.
Leave our guy alone.
Attention, Southwest customers.
Leave our guy alone.
Yeah.
He's trying to operate a radio interview here. I have to get him, see if he's okay.
Yeah.
Like she was
let
really
us know
close.
if you're okay, TD.
He was really close to him. Ian, we get any confirmation he's all right?
He is all right. He is getting ready to board.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
Boarding time.
Good
Boarding
stuff.
time. Yep.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I forgot. I think we had the Cody Barton conversation the other day with PK. One of my buddies texted me. He's like, "Yeah, I forgot Cody Barton was on the team. Oh, how about that?
Yeah,
he's on the team,
and he's actually
getting
not
paid.
bad.
He's actually not bad, and he's getting paid. A relatively decent amount of money.
Yeah. No, it's like like PK was saying. People are like, "Well, no, trade him." No, like depth.
It's okay to have a little bit of depth.
Yeah. You're gonna need. What did Vrabel used to say? Sorry to keep citing Mike Vrabel. Two and a spare or whatever, at every position. I mean, no, it's good to have.
It's an $8.2 million cap hit for Cody Barton this year too.
Well, yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, very few positions can you think of like someone who probably isn't gonna, and again, he may start early, but very well may not be a starter, but you know him, he can produce, you know he can play. That's the sign of a bad roster.
You know what the cap hit is for the Mandor this year?
I'll say 22 mil.
$26.3 million.
Okay, sure. Hey, being a somewhat serviceable left tackle in this league is very good work if you can get it. Now we'll see if he's still somewhat serviceable.
He's under contract for 2 more years after this. There's an out after this year, but he's under contract for 2 more years.
I have a feeling there's going to be an out. Who knows?
I'm expecting the best year of Dan Moore's career coming up.
Okay.
What does that mean? I don't know.
That'd be great things for the Titans. They'd be pretty good on that side with Skoronski. Ed just said, I think that voice was Katie at the airport making new friends. Excuse me.
Stop talking to Joe.
It's boy, now poor Katie. Once she finds out that we had this,
it's not going to go well.
She's going to have one less friend in the world,
and it won't be me. It'll be you.
That's right.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. We'll continue to take your thoughts on the Titans. Got more of your thoughts to get to on the text line on the Texas story. We'll get into all that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. 1025 The Game is your racing station. This weekend, catch all the action as NASCAR comes to Nashville at the Nashville Superspeedway on 1025 The Game. Presented by City Auto and Nelson's Greenbrier Distillery. You got the Allegiance 200 at 6:30 today. Sports Illustrated Resorts 250 tomorrow at 6 o'clock. And headlined by the Cracker Barrel 400 coming up on Sunday at 5 o'clock at the Nashville Superspeedway. So make sure you're tuned in for that. We'll have you covered all weekend long here on 1025 The Game. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. Our phone number, 615-737-1025. Joe, a lot of reaction to what we talked about earlier with Texas and Texas Tech, of Texas Tech basically calling out Texas and said, hey, man, we'll buy out Abilene Christian. We'll buy out Texas State. We'll get this thing going. Week 1. Sark's running his mouth all offseason, says that his 2s and 3s could go through our schedule and win our league. Well, let's find out. Let's get after it in game 1 coming up on September the 5th and play week 1. I don't think it's going to happen, but I respect the move from Texas Tech. I do. I hope it happens. I'm heavily pulling for it now.
I love it, man. I love it because they had this whole thing. We had Chris Vanini on. It was like, well, Texas Tech people tell me, they got
something's coming today.
And I was like, okay, so they're gonna whatever make fun of Bevo or some stuff, and make fun of Sark or rip. Oh, I mean, I do like the. I forget what you guys do in the playoff last year. I forget. I know we lost.
I just thought they were going to get up there and like horns down or something,
or that. But they came out and said, "Let's go, let's play. We will buy it out." And I wish that we had the Joey McGuire clip we played earlier. I wish he knew at that point. They should have come right out because Cody Campbell later tweets it like, up the ante. I'm paying both buyouts. I'm buying out both games so we can do it. And I don't think Texas can just ignore this. You can't just ignore. You can't talk all the trash if you were just Texas and you're in your ivory tower and you're minding your own business and Texas Tech comes at you with this, then fine. Yeah, okay. Laugh at them. You're the one who attacked them. You're the one who talked all this trash about them and their league. And now they're actually giving you, okay. And by the way, they're giving you what should be a double-digit win. I mean, I'm sorry, but Texas might be the best team this year. They might have the best roster. They have what everybody tells me is a genius coach. So, and Texas Tech's quarterback is not going to play because of gambling. I mean, he's not going to get back in.
No.
So go kick their butt. If you don't take this, I understand you play Ohio State the next week. You are incredibly cowardly. Incredibly. I'm sorry. You have to address this. You have to take this seriously if you're Texas. You started this.
Look, I'm heavily pulling for it. I guess, I knew that week 1 in college football wasn't great, but when we went through it earlier in the show, it sucks. Like, it's a bad week 1 in college football.
Very bad.
With the exception of like LSU Clemson and the game here, which is Ole Miss and Louisville.
Right. Yeah. By the way, God, probably gonna have to go to that, aren't I? now that I'm thinking about it, is that a night game? I think it is.
I would assume so.
Yeah, I mean, you got okay, the Aer Lingus
6:30. Yes.
On Sunday,
September the 6th. So that would be the Sunday.
September the 6th. So that's the next week. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm looking at week 0 right now. Yeah. When we do get a little North Carolina,
September
TCU.
6th, Sunday. The opening week in college football, you have the opening Saturday, and you get a couple Sunday games and then a Monday game on Labor Day.
Oh, I guess they're calling this. So the ESPN is doing this as all week 1. I thought they used to have a week 0. You know what I mean? Because week 0
it's the week before, right?
Yeah. August 29th, North Carolina, TCU, and not much. But
none of those games are ever any good.
I mean, yeah. But no, you go through this, it's bad. I mean, Miami at Stanford, it's an ACC
classic
rivalry.
ACC battle.
I mean, sure.
Classic battle in the ACC.
Boy, it is tough, man. It is really tough. It's bad. And again, we talk about TV people ruling the world and stuff. I mean, they got to be just up in arms about this.
Caleb,
because you can't make people schedule games.
Caleb on the YouTube chat wondering if the revenue for the home game for Texas plays a factor here. Talking about, obviously they're at home week 1 against Texas State.
Yeah, well, that's why, yes. No, I mean, for sure. And that would probably be one of their weak little excuses. But that's why you take it to AT&T.
What about
I mean-
people who've already bought tickets for the game, Joe? What do you do?
Well, is there a way? I think there is. Is there a way to honor those at AT&T Stadium for a much better game?
What if people don't want to drive to Dallas to
Well,
go to the game?
yeah, you're going to have people complain. But I mean, seriously, like if you're complaining because you're missing the Abilene Christian game, we're giving you an
Texas State.
opportunity. Whatever. We're giving you an opportunity to watch a real game, your team play a real game. We will honor the tickets that are bought will be honored. We'll have a split stadium at AT&T Stadium. We'll make it work. Yeah, you have to go. But I mean, some of those people might be coming from Dallas, right? Down to Austin.
Sure.
Horns fans. I mean, it's going to inconvenience some people. What Texas fan, if you're a Texas fan, I know you'd like to laugh at Texas Tech and, yeah, sure. And you might be like, well, I don't want to get banged up for Ohio State. You're telling me that you would rather watch your team play a total trash game at home than a game that will be the focal point of college football 2 weeks in a row. You'll be the focal point of college football, this game and the Ohio State game at home. You're going to win them both. I mean, sack up. Like, what are we talking about here?
You are awfully confident in the Ohio State result with Texas. It's like the third time today you said they're going to win.
I mean, Ohio State, and I understand it's just a reload situation with them.
Can't overcome the loss of Carnell Tate. The Titans.
Well, their defensive losses. I mean, they did lose a bunch of guys like high in the draft. I mean, you have to expect that defense to be taking a step back, right?
I guess.
I mean, because Ohio State, so far, again, they're recession-proof. They're the only recession-proof program ever. I mean, really. But they're going to start feeling a little bit of this too. A little bit of this. Okay, we don't just have a 5-star at every spot in our team.
I'm just saying. I mean, they still do have Jeremiah Smith, and you're out there just like, yeah. I mean, Texas is gonna win. Texas is gonna win.
Well, I would pick Texas, but also if I'm a Texas fan, I would feel good at home about that game, and I would not feel like playing Texas Tech, beating the crap out of Texas Tech, which is what you would do, is going to be some big problem for Ohio State.
A lot of confidence in Arch.
Yeah. Well,
we'll play better toward the end of last year.
Yeah, I like how he played at the end of the year, and we'll see. Maybe it just seems like he was really shaken earlier in the year. It was bad.
And the Ohio State game in particular was, and I understand that was a great defense, but he was awful, and he kind of stayed awful for like a month after that.
I think he was even worse than that in a couple of their games against bad teams.
Yep.
And it was like this guy can't play quarterback.
Right.
And then, eventually it's just like, well, you either keep playing and get better, or you could tell it was all way too much for him. Which,
now
again, he's a human.
Now that we've talked it out, the home game thing that Caleb brought up is a great point. I mean, there's no chance it's going to happen. People have already bought tickets for that, and you're talking. I mean, how many seats does Texas's home stadium hold? It's got to be close to 100,000, right? So it ain't happening. That's even more of a reason it's not happening.
Make it work. You can make it work. Give people a refund. Give them the option. You can either refund, or we will honor this ticket in our half of the stadium. I don't know. Are they? Yeah, they probably are. They probably are close to 100.
Yeah, it's a hundo. 100,119, according to this.
Okay.
AT&T seats 80.
Yeah.
So okay. Again, if I'm a Texas fan, okay. So you could watch your team in a game that matters, that actually is a game on television, or go to the bloodbath.
Maybe for some people, this is the one game they can go to.
Well, you know what? Life's hard. Life's not fair. Okay. Suck it up.
Weekend winners coming up next. You're listening to Robby and Rexrode 102.5 The Game.
It's time to pick some winners. We hope. Robby and Rexrode have weekend winners for you. Now
on ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It is time for weekend winners here on the program. A standings update in the competition. Joe, I don't have what we did last week. I do have the official standings update. What were our records from a week ago?
Yeah, it was 3-3 for you guys. Ian got his lock. I went 1-5. I think I got my lock. The Tigers was my lock, right? The Tigers losing.
We're giving it to him.
You remember?
That sounds right.
I think so.
No, I don't remember. I'm sorry.
He really probably should be penalized for not remembering his lock, but we'll give it to him.
Just give it to me. I went 1-5. I suck. Okay. So Ian's in first place, 41-43, 11-3 on his locks, 52 points. He is closing in on the dub here. Robby and I are both 38-46, 7-7 on our locks. We both have 45 points. We're both 7 points behind Ian. So if we're gonna make a move, we need
it's got to happen now.
Yeah, and Ian needs to falter.
I was hoping for a 4-2. I want to get to 500, but a 3-3.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Just be
at least I
happy
got my
with
lock.
Winning this elite competition.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
We begin with the regional in Chapel Hill. Question is very simple. Tennessee, do they get out of the regional and advance to the Supers? They begin action today at 11 a.m. Central Time against East Carolina. Ian Safar, you're up first. Tennessee out of the regional, yes or no?
I mean, I think I'm just going to do this because it's the best odds. So I'm going to say no.
Locking down.
No lock.
No.
Ooh. A little bit of a Vol hater there.
I'm just going straight odds. I got no clue on college baseball. I'll be honest. I haven't watched an inning all year.
Probably makes sense. Joe Rexrode, yes or no? Does Tennessee get out of the regional?
Hey, it's time to start making some moves here. Give me yes. Give me the Vols to get out and get to the Super Regional. Why not?
I'll go no. I think North Carolina will make it out of the regional. But very fascinated to see what happens.
I mean, they have a chance. Of course they have a chance.
Of course they got a chance. They're number 2 seed. It's not like it's some, Dave versus Goliath thing.
Big chance for me to move up. Boom. There's one.
We'll see what happens. But I will go no. If they do not get out of the regional. Game 7 between the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder coming up on Saturday. OKC is a 3.5-point favorite in this matchup. Joe Rexrode, who we got in Game 7?
Yeah, I've got to go with the home team. I'd love to see the Spurs win. I was a little surprised that the line was 3.5. I might have guessed like 5.5 or something like that, but I'll take the Thunder minus a 3.5.
I will also take the Thunder minus 3.5. I don't feel great about it, but I will take the Thunder minus 3.5. Ian Safar, who we got?
I don't feel great about this one either. I felt better about last night's game going to Game 7. The bounce backs from these teams have been pretty good in this series. Back and forth. Someone has a bad game, they rebound, respond pretty well. SGA, a bad game last night. I expect a bounce back from him. I think I'm going to take OKC as well.
Thunder sweep with our picks here. So we'll see what happens in Game 7 coming up this weekend. Game 5 is tonight between the Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina on the verge of punching their ticket to the Stanley Cup final for the first time since 2006 when they won the Stanley Cup with Peter Laviolette as the head coach. Canes at home tonight. It's been we have kind of alternated back and forth with how we've done the hockey matchups. Sometimes we go straight up. Sometimes we go goal and a half. It's been pretty dramatic. Carolina's dominance the last few games. We'll go goal and a half here on this one. Give me Carolina minus 1.5 and make it my lock.
Guarantee.
I think the energy level in that building going to be very high tonight. I think that this is a team and a group of players that have been together for a long time for the most part, and they made some changes here and there, but they got a lot of guys that have been there for a long time, and they can taste it right now. I think you're going to see them come out and play that way tonight. So I will go Carolina minus 1.5 and lock down on that. Ian Safar, who we got in Game 5?
Yeah, I think I have to take Carolina. As much as I'd like to see Montreal push this to another game, that looked like the frustration was starting to boil over a little bit at the end of last game. Saw a sucker punch with a glove to Ehlers.
Yep.
Coach, blanking out, St. Louis was not looking very happy, looking pretty frustrated. So I guess this is about the end for Montreal.
Joe Rexrode, who we got tonight in Game 5 between Carolina and Montreal?
St. Louis, right? St. Louis. Montreal, s'il vous plaît. Montreal.
To win or just to cover?
Whatever. I don't care. Just stay
Doesn't
with
matter.
stay
Just
within
cover.
a goal and
Yeah.
help me out. And I got a chance to make some moves.
There you go. There you go. So Joe going with Montreal plus the 1.5 tonight in Game 5 in Carolina.
Do we think Montreal can get more than 13 shots on goal tonight?
That would be a step in the right direction.
I do.
If they
In
can do
fact,
that.
can I have that as one of my bets? Can I be my over-under and make that one of my picks?
What over-under on shots?
Establish our own over-under here. We moved to the individual portion of the program. Ian Safar, your first individual selection.
Okay, got a couple of baseball here. I don't know. I've not had good luck with the baseball. I'm not going to lock it. Give me Rays minus 1.5 versus the Angels tonight. Tampa Bay.
On Rays minus 1.5 against the Angels. I'm sure dozens will be watching that game. Ian Safar, one of them tonight.
I will not be watching.
Maybe just the highlights. Joe Rexrode,
I will check the score.
Individual selection.
Well, I'm going to go baseball too. For the most part, I'm going to lock this. Well, I was going to say this summer. We're almost done with this competition.
You got quite the baseball series this week.
Yeah, and my instinct normally right now would be I'm just going to lock the Tigers losing, and I'm going to feel great. But they're playing the White Sox. Melton is pitching, and he's pitching well. Give me the Tigers plus 1.5 and make that my lock because the White Sox suck and always will suck, and I hate them.
You want Tigers plus 1.5 locking down against the Chicago White Sox. Give me Carolina Montreal tonight under 5.5 goals. I think Carolina wins 4-1 tonight. That's my official prediction, but I will go under 5.5 goals for Carolina and Montreal. Joe Rexrode, your second individual selection.
Well, give me that, but make it over. 4-3 win for the Canes.
Wow. So that's why you didn't answer when I asked you who was going to win. Look at you.
Not really, but I just came up with that right now. But sure.
Give me in the IIHF World Championships. There's lines for it. I looked. Switzerland and Norway coming up in the final. Roman Yossi and company trying to punch their ticket to the gold medal game here.
Okay.
Switzerland is a 2.5 goal favorite here. Give me Switzerland minus 2.5 against Norway. Ian Safar, your thoughts? You look disgusted that I've gone this
No,
route.
it took me a second to figure out what IIHF was.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. What? Oh, yeah. We got the World Championships going on.
That's right.
I saw Canada won 4-0 over the U.S.
They did.
No love for the Norwegians.
Not a lot of love for the Norwegians in this matchup.
Norwegian Wood, great Beatles song.
I will go with minus 2.5 against for Switzerland against Norway. Insofar your second individual selection.
I'm actually going to take, going back to the basketball game, Game 7, 212.5 over under. Game 7, I don't know if we'll be tight, but I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take under Game 7, 212.5 for OKC versus Spurs. So that's, about 105, 100 ish, something like that.
A little bit more of a defensive emphasis.
Maybe a little bit. We got some effort going on here.
Back to the IIHF World Championships. We have Canada and Finland in the semifinal. I had to double check that this is a line. It is. So it just tells me basically it's straight up. Canada, a 0.5 goal favorite over Finland. So basically it's straight up. Give me Canada over Finland in this matchup. Ryan O'Reilly, game winner for the Canadians. If he doesn't just pass the puck to Mac on celebrating like everybody else is doing. So give me Canada against Finland in that matchup. Joe Rexrode, your final individual selection.
Mute. Well, this week is either going to vault me or bury me, and I should just not even play the rest of the summer because I got the same thing Ian has, except I'm going to go the other way. Spurs Thunder, 212.5. Give me the over on that one. No particular reason. Just trying to see if I can have a magical week.
Wow. Going opposite Ian in this competition. Ian, your final individual selection.
All right, one more baseball. I'll do a Kuharski pick here. Give me the Yankees minus 1.5 at the A's tonight.
Yankees minus 1.5 against the A's. No longer the Oakland A's. Although I have seen, watched Moneyball the other day. Great movie.
That is a great one. We were talking about great baseball movies. I mean, Moneyball is different kind of baseball movie, but also a great one.
I mean, as far as sports movies go, baseball has got the most, I think. Most good ones.
The one thing about that movie, though, and it's not a big deal, but it's like we spent like 2+ hours on that A's team, and we never talked about like Barry Zito, Mark Mulder, these guys. Like that's why they were great because of their pitching rotation. But whatever.
Heck of a curveball from Zito. Didn't he play for the Sounds at one point?
Yeah, he did.
Yep. Barry Zito, Nashville Sounds legend.
Nice. The All Sounds team would be interesting.
I think there's a bobblehead.
Don Mattingly.
Yeah. Prince Fielder.
Yeah. Right.
They could put together a pretty good squad.
We need an All Sounds.
Ryan Braun.
Yep. Put together a pretty good squad out there. A lot of good ball players that have played for the Sounds. 615-737-1025, our phone number. We will wrap up the show, get into the weekend of sports coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Final segment of the day, Robby and Rexrode, presented by Green Ventures Landscaping. Property managers, if you manage it, they maintain it. Visit greenventureslandscaping.com. ESPN.com. We are live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. I'm looking forward to Thunder and Spurs Game 7. It's been a good series. It's been really the only series in the conference final in both the NBA and the NHL. It's been worth a crap to this point.
Yeah.
So interested to see what happens here in Game 7 coming up.
Yeah, I hope it's good. I do, as I said earlier in the show, I think it's gone a little far on the SGA. And then there's people on the text line this week who are like, look at the deep metrics. He's not that good, whatever. No, man. SGA is a great, great player.
He has won back-to-back MVPs, guys.
Yeah, like let's get a little bit real. He gets buckets. He creates offense. He's a great player. He's a foul merchant. He's not alone, as we've talked about. Many, many people, including. So glad someone brought up Manu Ginobili.
Yep.
I think he
might be the inventor.
He might be the godfather.
Reggie Miller was one up there that I
Reggie
thought
Miller's
too.
a good one.
Reggie Miller was a head jerker.
He would flail his arms a lot.
Yeah.
Now we're creeping back into the 90s. It's getting back further and further.
Yeah. Well, that threw me my throwback there.
Yeah.
With the Pacers and the Knicks.
I'm surprised Joe just hasn't said, well, I mean, Jordan all the time.
I was just about to say, I mean, Jordan went flying and smashed into basket supports and stuff when he played the Pistons. He's probably faking. Everybody tried to blame Lambeer and Mahorn. It was probably just him faking.
There we go. Knew we'd
But,
get there.
whatever he had to do to win the one series he did against them in 4 attempts with his 1-3 series record against Isaiah's Pistons. Thank you.
Anytime we can bring that up,
Thank you.
I'm glad to help you do that.
But, yeah, Manu was a special kind of flopper. There's
was.
no doubt, man. He was infuriating. Man, that was a tough one. That game, that 2005 series, Pistons should have won it, man.
Well,
but they put Bruce Bowen on Chauncey in the fourth quarter.
That's a tough one.
Greg Popovich, dude, brain problem. That was, the entire series, he didn't really guard Chauncey Billups with Bruce Bowen, and he did in the fourth quarter of Game 7 with the Pistons leading going into the fourth quarter, and that changed the whole thing.
Who's the coach of the Pistons
then?
Larry Brown? Is it Larry Brown as coach?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they had Rick Carlisle, who was really good, and then Larry Brown came in and got him over the hump, but couldn't get the back-to-back.
Yeah.
There you go. I got an unnamed.
That could be a battle in Game 7.
I hope so, man. I hope so. Speaking of like bad basketball, like here's a text who's like LeBrick, biggest flopper of all time. You wrote flipper, but I think you're saying flopper. Like the hate for LeBron is it's someone made this point. It's like, are we in an era is sports conversation now to the point that like no superstar will ever again in sports like actually be like universally loved? Like everybody has to rip and tear.
I mean, yes,
apart.
because now we see everyone's opinion on everything. Like back in the day, social media did not exist, so you didn't know that there was some bozo out there that thought that like Tom Brady wasn't any good. Or,
right.
You see it all now.
Yeah. Any idiot who doesn't realize Tom Brady is one of the best AFC East quarterbacks of all time really shouldn't be on social media. But yeah, like LeBron. Yeah, LeBron, biggest flop. Yeah, he's also the best player of all time. But sure, let's talk about his flopping.
He does flop. Not as much as people think he does, but he does flop.
Yeah, he also sometimes just runs people over.
He does
dunks
do that.
on them.
Yes.
And that's something he did a few times. But unnamed Texas alum from inside the Titans organization was triggered by the conversation. So I asked, if you're making the decision for Texas, would you accept this challenge? And she said, it seems kind of beneath us, but if it could happen at home, sure, little bro can come over.
See, I did notice that. It was Texas Tech making the challenge, and it's like, well, come to Lubbock and play, or we'll go neutral site. Why won't you go to Texas?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't blame. I mean, if you're going to go out and do
I think
this,
you're giving Texas Tech in this conversation a little bit more credit than
well,
they deserve.
you're not going to start, we'll come to Austin, right?
Why not? Do you want to play them?
I think AT&T is perfect. That's what it should be. They should have just come out with that from the start. I got someone triggered on. Speaking of triggered, MJ twice the player the Brick is. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I can't help you. It's a good debate.
I have
It's
no
a
problem
good
if you
debate.
think Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James.
I don't either.
If you think he's twice the player, you're an idiot.
You're right. Thank you. You said it better than I could. Thank you.
I mean, come on.
You, sir, unnamed texter, are an idiot. Is
Talk
this
about-
Big Joe's number? This
probably-
Big Joe's number? No,
Probably
it's not.
unquestionably the two great. I mean, I say unquestionably. People will always question it, but and to me, unquestionably the two greatest players of all time.
Yes. This texter says, Le Bum is not the greatest of all time. Rexrode needs to lay off the crack pipe. Okay. The hate for LeBron and also the glossed over, he never did anything wrong, love for Jordan is truly, it's bothersome.
There's this clip on TikTok and like Instagram reels where it's like how old heads describe Michael Jordan. And it's just like somebody basically like superimposing him on a video game, and he jumps like 35 feet in the air, and everybody's just looking up at him like, oh my goodness. Well, how do we stop that up there? And he just lands and dunks on everybody.
Yeah, it's made of a shot. Chew. Yeah.
Dunks from the half court line.
Yeah. You guys should go watch some games. Like, I don't know, watch some of the games in the 4 series he played against the Detroit Pistons, the playoffs, in which he lost 3 of them. Go tell me if he's like this infallible, unbeatable player.
So if Carolina punches their ticket to the Cup final, I'm trying to think of the last time it will have been a universally, like, the entire hockey rooting world will be rooting for one team in the Cup final over Vegas. Like, I mean, I guess maybe the last time Vegas was in there, but I think even Vegas since then has, and now that they've won one, especially, it's like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
All right.
And then everybody, we had fun with it on this show. Everybody ripped the move to fire Cassidy and to bring in Torts. It's like, what are you guys? What?
Who's making all those final decisions, do we think?
McCrimmon, right? I guess. Yeah.
And so is that just like his playbook? Is that what he's been going with this whole time?
They DGAF, don't give a fart.
Like,
and it's worked out pretty well for him.
What's clicking there? Like, what are they seeing about all these moves that they're like, hey, we got to do this right now?
I don't know, man. It's impressive. It is. I mean, look,
like, is there something they're, I don't know, picking up on? Is there some type of theme there that's the same every time? I don't know.
I mean, they're really aggressive. I mean, the thing is, like, they've made some moves that, like, they had Nick Suzuki, who's turned into a pretty darn good player in Montreal. They traded him, and it's worked out for him, right? Like, a lot of times when you trade players like that, you end up looking back and saying, that didn't work out too well. Well, they've been able to overcome some of that too. So, like, it's gonna, at some point, they will cycle down, and they'll probably be bad for a little while.
You would think.
But in the meantime, like, you're talking, you've been in the league since 2017. This is your 5th trip to the conference final, your 3rd trip to the Stanley Cup final. I mean, I'm with everybody who will be rooting heavily against them by the time, like, I'll be actively rooting for Carolina. But you can't not acknowledge what they've done in Vegas.
No, you absolutely have to give respect. But not respect to this texter who's now trying to say that Kobe's better than LeBron. The Kobe's better than LeBron, people.
Look, I've said this
Stop
before.
watching sports. You're not allowed to talk about sports anymore.
I've said this before, and in some ways I kind of hate to say this, but I think it's absolutely true. Kobe is a all-time great player. He's a great player.
Yeah.
Kobe has been elevated in this conversation after his death. Like, he absolutely has. Like, after his death, people have now, he's the greatest player of all time.
No one ever tried.
Like,
no one ever brought that up. You're right.
Yeah,
when he played, it's like he's the second best player in that era.
He plays very similarly to Michael Jordan, right? That he's probably a top 10 player of all time or close to it, but he's not LeBron James.
Yeah, I mean, and is he? I'm not sure he's a top 10 player. I mean, you're right. He's close to it. I'm thinking he's probably in the 11 to 15 range. You'd have to go through it, but yeah. That's absurd, and you're right. It is much more like posthumous. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I got Bulls. Which number of championships is more, 6 or 2? Well, 6 is more, and it is great to be able to win those in the 90s when all the dynasties died. You know, the Celtics, the Lakers, those are the teams that the Pistons had to try to battle against, and they finally beat them both in the 80s while Jordan was getting his butt kicked every year while he was in his prime, by the way. I mean, tell me what age Jordan was when he was getting his butt kicked all those years by the Pistons. He wasn't 20. He wasn't 22. He was like 28. Then the 90s came and a lot of free championships for the Bulls. Congratulations. I hope Ryan from Chicago is listening right now. The White Sox suck too. And the Bears. Who else sucks?
Blackhawks. They're not very good either.
I mean, I hate
Yeah, Connor Bedard's a bust.
All right, quick prediction from all of us. We have less than 30 seconds. Do the Preds hire a GM this weekend? Yes or no?
No.
I'll say it'll be Tuesday.
I say yes.
Okay.
This weekend, we get news of the Predators GM. Maybe
fun,
they don't announce it, but we get news.
That'd be a fun Monday.
That's my guess.
I
Maybe
hope you're
that's-
right.
Could be
And the
wish-
AJ Brown trade's coming up soon.
That's true.
Yeah, there we go.
Could be
We
wishful
got stuff
thinking.
to look forward to.
That's going to do it for us today. Next man up
Full
coming up
suck.
next. You're listening to 102.5 The Game.